Hello, it's VT and it's small tutorial about Obiwan Dynamic Robe for Pose. So, first what you need is to load your character and close, then Dynamic Robe from Obiwan. You will need animation palette, this one if you didn't have it, just Windows Animation Controls. By default you have 30 frames. It's enough to make simulation. On first frame you have 0 pose. If you didn't have, you can save it and just right there, somewhere in your library. Just select Michael 4 and add to library, like T pose. That's all. It will be saved just for future use. And single frame, of course. Then you need your pose, result pose that you want to be simulated. So you go to frame 30 and apply your pose. My way it's this one pose. Okay. Then you need to create new simulation. Create new simulation. Here with everything by default 130, only check close self collision. And of course, if you're making animation, you also have to create drape frames. But if you just making just one pose, don't need this. Okay, simulation created. Next step is close file. I need to choose here rope. Okay. And set collide against. I'd recommend to select everything except Michael 4. So it will be armor, boots and gloves. Suit is underlayer, so you also do not need it. Okay. And you do not, it's better idea to select this one, maybe only head, because it does not work here, that does not influence on anything. And just some experiments about collision of sects, just if you want to try use it in different ways. This one screens, I just make 3 simulation for you. It's one collision offset 0.2, 1 and 2. So it's so sticky, and if you plan to use this rope just completely without clothes, maybe on something close, not an armor, because as you can see the rope already bulky and it's pre-simulated already for armor and for clothes. So I think you tried this one. The one collision depth 1 as default, it's most useful version, and if you want to play with something more bulky, have to use 2. But as usual, all non-standard usage of all parameters makes a really better result. So it's just for you for practice. The next step, I just make the simulations not only for 30 frames, I just make experiment just for 5 frames, 15 frames, 30 and 120 frames. So with same result, and just I make drape, but you should not. If you, as I say earlier, don't use animation. So as you can see, 5 frames is, yes, it's make a job, but you see the curves, it's not good. The 15 frames is almost fine. If you do not need something good, just to save some time, you just enough about 15 or 20 frames, and I think it's the most perfect. Because in 30 frames, it's almost same like in 50, just right cuffs just a bit better and just hood a bit better than. And 120 frames completely useless in the result, so keeping in mind about 20 frames is perfect for your simulation. So just set up here, just tick 20 or just 25 and press enter, and just that's all. Good. Final step is just calculate simulation. Also, there are tons of parameters that's right over there, but I don't recommend to change them because all of them make a lot of holes. Click calculate simulation and wait some time till you have result. Okay, if you have slow FPS when you're rotating Obiwan, just go to rope and then preview subdivision level to 1 and just import this max as low poly for better calculation, and just for render you have to use as much smooth as it's possible, but anyway you will have some problems just right there and in the back. It cannot be easily fixed using this solution, so the best way, just if you need to render from the back, just hide this one, and I think the best way just used, if you need something, just experiment with this collision offsets on the back. And here we still have some problems, so anyway, simple way just always is just hide that. And that's all about simulation.